How we doing, traders? How we doing? Mr. Coin Fox, BB, and Tim Tolson, how you guys doing? Hope you're doing well on this hump day. Mr. One Way in the house as well. How we doing, traders? How we doing? Guys, quick announcement. I will be saying this towards the end of the day trading today as well. There will be a video coming out today featuring maybe Coin himself. Maybe Coin himself. So I'm doing a little video coming out with around lunchtime-ish, 12:45 I think I scheduled it for. So be looking out for that this afternoon. It's on how day trading can change your life. I think it's pretty neat. So make sure you guys hit the like button on that video and throw some comments on that a little bit later on. CoinFox, thank you. Thank you. All right, let's dive into the quote of the day today, guys. Trading effectively is about assessing probabilities, not certainties. That's funny, isn't it? That's where traders get messed up, you know. When you first start trading, you think that things will happen for certain, and they don't. It's a probabilities game, baby. I like to relate it to poker quite a bit, although I think trading personally is can be a little easier than poker, because you know, you can risk as much as you want with trading. With poker, you know, if someone's going all in, you have to kind of match their bets. That's the problem. But with poker, you know, you get good hands and you play and you risk those hands. You know, you apply risk to those hands. You put in the chips that you think is necessary for that hand. And in trading, you can do the same exact thing. You get good hands dealt to you, and you apply certain risk to those. And you know which hands are good. As you trade longer, you know which hands are the pocket pair of aces and what are the 8-2 offsuits. As you trade longer and you get that experience, you know what the good hands and the bad hands are. Yeah, you may still can apply some risk to the trades, throw little chips on the table, but, you know, it might not be the best hand. That's the thing. So, yeah, Jason in here. What's going on, Jason? Good to have you in here. Excited. I'm excited for you. Watch that video today. Hope you're doing well. Coin, the only thing that's certain is uncertainty. Love that. Yeah, absolutely. The only thing I know is I don't know. All right, today is a little interesting. AIV, I did get rid of all that yesterday at like, I don't know, my average price. So I didn't swing any of that. I still want to watch AIV. Today, yeah, it was pretty heavy yesterday, just kind of fading all day. You know, maybe we got a lot of the longs out of this already, so I would like to watch this. The previous close is 504. So obviously we have no technical indicators on this chart this low at a price around $5. And so what I like to do because of that is look at the previous close. The previous close is really all we have to go off of. So that's going to be 504. If this thing can break and hold that level, that's when I'm interested in AIV again. See if we can break that level and continue green. Mr. Jason, then fold out for a small loss when you get a bad hand. Exactly. You know, and the hands sometimes even get better. You can tell. Like a lot of the times, for instance, I love stocks that pop up towards, go very fast up to hold dollars up to the 20-cent area. I mean, for a quick example, it's not the greatest example, but I mean, you guys know we've gone over this time and time again. I mean, we could look at these two. But MVIS, for example, at the close, fast move up through the whole dollar and then retraced it back on down. So that's an example of the hand getting even better. Fast move up to the whole dollar. Yeah, I'm going to apply a little bit more risk on that trade because that's ultimately what I'm looking for. And most of the time, just like at poker, you start with a few chips. You don't go all in. I mean, it's a pretty simple analogy if you really think about it. But a lot of traders don't like to implement this, and I don't know why. A lot of traders really like the single entry, single exit, which may work for them, but the power of scaling is a beautiful thing, absolutely beautiful thing. Because just like at the poker table, I'm not going to go all in when you get your first two cards. I'm going to throw some chips on the table if it looks like a good setup, and if it gets even better, I'm going to apply a little bit more risk on the table. Ultimately, having a kind of max risk you're going to trade. Example, HTBX pop pre-market right to, yeah, there we go. Thank you, Brad. There we go. Yep, look at this, baby. Fast move up, whole dollar, 720. That's a beautiful hand. If I start this at 650, I'm not going to stop out at $7. I mean, for me, the hand gets even better when it's faster and up through the whole dollar and hitting the 20-cent area. I'm never going to fold my hand when it's doing that, because we see this every day. It's just like the quote of the day says, you're assessing probabilities, and that's a high probability of that working. Thank you, Brad. Hope you got that. Mr. Garcia in the house. Jonathan, how you doing? You getting things straightened out with CMEG yet? Well, traders, some of these stocks we've been watching for the last few weeks are getting nice gap ups in pre-market. One of them being TLRY, another one being MARA. Yesterday was SLDB, which I missed. So this is MARA is hitting new highs right now, 850. It's always a little frustrating, but it is what it is. MARA is in that blockchain space. This has been a nice kind of technical play. It's actually finally kind of breaking out past this 715. See, this is a 720 area too, where it's having a hard time at. It's breaking out past that. That was resistance, turning to support. I'm not going to be a player up here at 850. We don't buy high, hope higher. We don't do that. We don't do that. But I gotta be honest with you guys. I'm probably gonna be focused on the scanners today. I'm gonna go over everything I've been looking at pre-market, but a lot of it's already made its move. So I'm not in love with the pre-market this morning. I just gotta be honest with you guys. But AEMD, this is coming up right up towards this top resistance and having trouble 340s. That's why we always draw our resistance lines out because of that. AMD tapping that upper resistance, having some trouble. That is our leading gapper this morning. They came out with some fundamentals. They announced their first patient treated in their first in-human clinical trial of hemopurifier for head and neck cancer. For head and neck cancer with AMD. So first patient in trial. So AEMD, 12 million in float, 14 million traded. That's the fundamentals there. We typically will do fundamental, technical, and trader analysis here. And it's really got all three of those. Trader analysis being, this is where all the volume is. Technicals, this one is, trading off of support up towards resistance. So doing very well like that. And then, of course, those are the fundamentals there. I wanted to go over WKHS real quick. This is one we've been looking at for a while. Ultimately, I'm kind of sad here because this one is forming a little bit of a bear flag. WKHS, she's been so good to us. But I gotta be objective here. So WKHS, this one had the descending triangle a few weeks ago. We were paying attention to that. It ended up cracking that, which is what they normally do. Shorts take the elevator down. And then we start kind of stair-stepping, going sideways. But look at what we're seeing right now. This is forming a little bit of a bear flag. I will show you an exact example of that. Bear flag. Here's a bear flag right here. So we have our pull. And then we start kind of squeezing. The little pennant right here. Higher lows, lower highs type of deal. That's what a pennant is. So we have a flagpole and then the pennant. and then we break that and continue on down. So that's what we're seeing with WKHS. It's very sad. I'm going to miss her. But the last few days on WKHS have been really interesting. Look at the last 5 days here. Spike up, give it all back. Spike up, give it all back. Spike, give it all back. The next day it gapped up and then sold off. The next day it opened and spiked, gave it all back. So if this one's not gapping up, it's going to spike and give it all back essentially. Right now it's slightly gapping up. Slightly gapping up a little bit. So it'll be really interesting to see what it does this morning. But just understand that one is in the pennant. The bear flag pennant at the moment. All right, SLDB, I missed that one yesterday. The trend on this one's going to be around 540s. SLDB, so if this one does pull back, and honestly 575 may not be a bad entry as well, because look at this, 575 SLDB, and remember, this is the stock that's having the daily breakout, SLDB. I was really irritated I missed that yesterday, because I liked it so much against 475, and we're already over a point off of that, so not good there, but this was SLDB, so we had this 475 break, and it's holding that level fairly well right now. Really holding that level well. That was support, and then turned into some major resistance. Finally getting back above it. And so here's the area I like with SLDB. Ultimately 475, but obviously we're a little bit off of that. What we can do here is last Friday I had a tough time 575. You see that? That's going to turn into resistance. Broke through that. And it's now serving as what? Support. Look at where this candlestick yesterday fell down to. 570s. 575 and then pulled right back up. So we could watch 575 on SLDB. The trend is going to be at 550, and then the breakout area, which will now be supports at 475. So those are a couple areas we can watch and see how this is going to open up today. 575 is good. Not bad there. We'll see how that one's going to open today. All right, coin. PLTR looking like a possible move down to 24 today. Yes, got a little bit of lower highs on its daily chart. Yeah, here's the daily with PLTR. Making a few lower highs here. Looking like it's trying to find its next leg down. It's not bad there. And then GLOP held its gains yesterday. Possible move towards 5. Let's look at GLOP. Mr. Glop. Glob's got the 200-day moving average at 369. Where's it at right now? Okay, it's having a tough time against the 200-day. So we're going to have to need some volume to get over that. Obviously, a pretty thin name here, GLOP. But we have gained a point the last couple days, so it's really not a bad one. Got above the 50-day. Now it's going to be testing the 200-day out. It's a pretty oversold chart here, GLOP. So yeah, I mean, it's a thin name. We just got to be aware of that. If you're trading it, understand that and size accordingly. What do I mean by thin name? It's just thinly traded, essentially. So we do watch some of these thin names sometimes, but if you're trading them, you just got to size accordingly on them because they can be illiquid at times. So TLRY, this one obviously the marijuana play we've been watching for a while. It's getting that big gap up right now because it looks like they're doing some type of partnership with APHA. APHA to form like the biggest marijuana company in the world. I think that's essentially what the PR said. Exactly. As Coin said. Thin is a little pretty slow mover with bigger spreads. Not a ton of volume on them. So TLRY, this one's got some support at 950 on the chart. That's what I was looking at if we're going to trade it. I mean, I don't know if I can get myself to buy up here at 950, you know, a 2-point gap on it up there, but that is support, 950 on the chart. Let's take a look at that. Yep, here we're seeing 950, actually pretty solid. Pretty solid resistance on TLRY up here, triple top in there, and then, you know, triple bottom nearly back here, and then resistance again prior to that. So 950 certainly an area of support. We're going to see how that's going to hold this morning. You know, I wouldn't mind. I don't mind sometimes getting these as long as it's very close to support. If I'm going to be buying high like this, I do not want to. It's just like that poker analogy we went over this morning. Yeah, it's not a pocket pair ace setup, but it's a decent setup, and I'm going to keep tight risk on it. If I end up if I do end up trading it, so 950 is that area I'm going to watch pretty carefully. Coin QLGN, what's going on there? Yeah, QLGN. God dang, man. I didn't have shorts there either yesterday, but that was a sick play. That one gave back everything. Big upper shadow on the daily against the 50-day moving average. Going to be pretty heavy against $4, which is the 50-day, in my humble and honest opinion. Coin, thoughts on VERU? It's kind of your play, but VRU looks like it's trying to have a little bit of a double bottom off of 850s. I think that's maybe an area. This was resistance as well. VERU, that kind of looks like a head and shoulders in a way too. 850 being the neckline, but this one is definitely overbought, VERU, and it doesn't look like it wants to head back on down anytime soon. This was the breast cancer sector, so if trading VERU, watch it against the 850s. SLDB is pulling down towards 575 right now, which is good support. That one's interesting right there. I'm not going to lie. That one is interesting. But that one's got a little bit of a 15-cent spread. It's got a deep spread on it right now. So I'm going to wait for SLDB to open up for that spread to thin on out a little bit, tighten up. But yeah, SLDB back down towards 575, which is support. You guys see that? That is support. And also 550, the trend line. So I want to see that one tighten up a little bit though. TLRY 950, ultimately it's support. Coin Veru, big seller is $11. Only buy deep dips on that. Okay. Sounds good there, guys. VERU, that one is a very overbought play. So if trading it, definitely keep that in mind. AEMD is our leading gapper this morning. We already had gone over that one. 340 is tough on the daily, and we're already seeing that. I had that drawn out before it even tapped it, guys. I always keep my resistance and support lines drawn out on these charts because they highly respect them. And look at where we saw nearly a triple top. 3 upper shadows up here towards 340s. AEMD is trying to hold up, though. Here's the thing. This one U-shaped, broke out those pre-market highs, and it's trying to curl up against $3 right now. It's trying to curl up against $3. We see these lower shadows down here towards $3. So AMD may get a spike out of the gates, but I wouldn't be expecting the world on this. I don't think it's a really huge PR. Charts kinda on it. What do we got? If we get above 350 on the chart is really tough resistance. If we get above 350, we do have some room to head on up towards $5. But that's asking for a lot. It looks like it may be trying for a little bit of a morning spike. We'll see. Popping up through that 330-40 range. SLDB showing no buyers below 550. Well, that's comforting. It's got buyers at 550 though, right? Or 550 to 575. MARA, this one is I'm just gonna have to watch this one at this point, fellas. MARA. I'm not gonna buy high, hope higher there. That one's gone. She's gone. She left us at the train station. Left us. All right, and then I'm kind of watching MCF for a short, somewhat. Like I said, guys, today is probably going to be more of a scanner day. There's a few I got loaded up. SLDB, TLRY. MCF is one I got loaded up for the short side as well. But I like this against 250s. This is an example of one of those from, I can't remember what the ticker was a few days ago, but we were watching it again, to pop up over the whole dollar up to the 20-cent area. MCF is a perfect example of that as well. If this one starts climbing, it's got really solid 320 resistance on the chart for MCF. So if that one gets to going as well, I'll be watching 320 very carefully. Tough resistance, but otherwise MCF, I'll see how it opens up. Maybe take a stab at it for a short. Maybe get that one to see some profit taken there. Not the best, not the worst. TLRY against 950, SLDB ultimately against 550. Watch for a slip below and then buyers to step in. Yeah, we'll watch that with SLDB for sure. Yeah, so I mean, it's not. Don't have the biggest watch list this morning, but AEMD is testing that 340 area again from the low float world. That one would be watching it pretty carefully out of the gates. I think that's one is probably going to be a play. I don't have shorts there, and I actually also inquired for the locates, but they didn't have any to allocate on AMD either. But I do like that for a pop and fade, in my opinion. Unless it gets really above that 350 area and can hold it, it may can see $5, but otherwise, I like it just like anything else. I like it for pop and fade for these low floaters. Honestly, guys, you remember AMPC from the other day? AMPC popped up, made its move in pre-market, $5 to $10, opened up, gave everything back. And why was that? You remember when we looked at the chart there with AMPC? Every single day the stock got gapped up, it gave everything back. Well, guess what? Monday was absolutely no different. That's why we always look at pattern recognition. We look left of the chart, always. Left of the chart gives us great insight into what the ticker is likely going to do. So yeah, today I'm going to be watching the scanners. Probably that's where I'm going to find my trade this morning. The scanners. How do we look at these guys for those new in here this morning? The middle scanners, positive intensity, negative intensity. The middle top one. These are the intraday scans. This is what we're looking for. Stocks get highlighted orange on either scanner. On the positive intensity up top, when it's highlighted orange, it means the stock is getting overbought. Get ready for the reversal. Same is true on the negative intensity. When stock's getting highlighted orange, it means it's getting oversold. And it might not be a bad scoop play. So that's what I'm going to be watching this morning. SLDB trying to get a little bounce off of 575 at the moment. AEMD having trouble against 340s. really big trouble against 340s. Tough time there. It's already pulling back pretty hard at the moment. So you guys make sure you hit the like button before we get started here this morning. And we will be trading live today. Live. But you guys know what it is. I speak the truth in here. If you guys want to learn how to trade and trade the right way, this is where you want to be. Coin and I, we speak the truth. So AEMD, this one against 340, we'll be watching it. Now that it's not getting that morning spike, it may try to find its legs down here. Tim Tolson, RDFN, looking for a short on that one. Doesn't look bad. Look at the daily there, dude. That thing from like $50 to 68 has not had a red day once. So good luck, Tim. Good luck, Tim. I like it for a short as well, but that one hasn't had a red day in a while. Trade a T. Good morning. Hit that like button, guys. The market is now open. Now remember, I'm going to be watching the scans carefully to see what's going to be happening. Since AEMD is not getting that morning spike up through 340, it may try to find its legs down here a little bit. I'll be watching it. That's not a trade for me. TLRY, the marijuana sector, I'm looking for that to pull back towards 950. It is seeing a little bit of a sell-off right now. SLDB, that one, I want to see if 575 is going to hold up there. That's kind of what I'm looking at on that one at the moment. But other than that, let's see what the scanners are going to give us. See what the scans are going to give us. AEMD having a little bit of trouble. That's the low float. It hasn't made up its mind yet. It's still fighting that open in that $3 area. So $3 is going to be that area it needs to get above and hold for its climb back up towards 340. It may try to pull back a little bit. 275 is not a bad play. Since this one didn't open up and get the morning spike, it may try to find its feet and curl back around. That's what I'd be looking for, AEMD. But be patient with the PAY if trading AEMD. So AEMD is that's an interesting play. I want to see where it's gonna kind of bottom out at. 275 may not be a bad area on AEMD if that's something. If it starts, start seeing some lower shadows around that area. TLRY, big pullback. That one's seeing a lot of profit taken at the moment. TLRY. I may look for a little scoop play here. I just want to see what TLRY, how deep this one's going to go. This one's already kind of given nearly a lot back. It closed yesterday at around $8. Trying to find somewhat of its feet down here in the I gotta restart CMEG. Give me a little trouble right now. CMEG give me a little trouble at the moment. But TLRY, big pullback. I want to see if that one's going to retrace that move and pull back up through 950. That's the area we want to be watching, that 950 area. But that one, big sell-off. Big sell-off. AOUT, that one's popping up on the intensity scans. Big pop right here up towards $19. So ANC, what are we seeing? ANCN. AEMD still sitting around 280s. One second, guys. I'm loading up my charts real quick. What the heck, man? Jonathan, BLNK popping up right now. The electric charging vehicle stock, BLNK. That one is seeing a spike up towards 3020s, 3030s right now. So yeah, that one is getting a little spike on it. Good eye there with BLNK. I'd be watching that one. It's on the intensity scans right now. I'd be watching that one to start topping out here in a little bit and start turning back around some. Start seeing some profit taken. BLRX, a little bit of a sell-off down here towards 240s. Now, BLRX on the negative intensity scans, this one, I do have some support drawn out at 240s. It's trying to actually get a bounce off of right now. BLRX, here's this past chart history. Just FYI, this one does have support in the 240s. It is pulling back towards that area right now. You guys see triple tops, support back here, lower shadows to that area. So BLRX may try to get a little bit of a bounce off of 240s if interested. TLRY even lower. This one's even lower at the moment. BLNK, if you guys got the short, nice work there. That's how the scans work. 30/70s, nice little profit taking all the way back down towards 30 bucks. So 3/4 of a point there. If you guys got that, great work there. Good eye, Jonathan. That's exactly right there. XNET is popping up right now. 200-day moving average there is 334. We are seeing some upper shadows on the daily. A little bit above that 334 area. So XNET, if that one starts popping up towards 340s, 50s, I think there's a potential there for a short as well. God dang, man. XNET already having a little bit of trouble. Coin TLRY can get down towards 850 and still be front side. Yeah, big gap up there. So we're just still seeing some profit taken on TLRY. That's what's going on. That one's having a big gap up, and so it's not a coincidence. That's how these usually work. If they gap up like this, usually going to... Guys, AEMD, look at all the lower shadows on this one. AEMD trying to hold up. Look at all these indecisive candlesticks. Just literally going sideways. AEMD, very impressive. So this one's trying to hold this level. That's on the 1 minute time frame too. Trying to hold the 290s right now. AEMD on its past chart history has 270 as support. That's ultimately what I'd be watching there if trading AEMD. XNet still fighting 320s. I really still like that against the 200-day. If that one starts popping up towards like 334, 340s, that one's got some upper shadows on its daily, up in that 335, 340 area. So I would be watching that area there. Coin taking an MARA long this morning out of the gates. That one's trying to come up and retest its pre-market highs. AEMD coming down. So this one is coming back down towards that support area. That's why I would have been patient on it with a PAY. AEMD now down towards that support. This is where I'd consider more of an entry, down towards support and especially pre-market support down there in the 260s. So it's trying to get a little lower shadow against that 270 support line I have drawn out. It's actually trying to get balled up a little bit there. Longs take longer. Be aware of that, especially a long that has been gapping up. May take a little bit of time for that one to turn back around a little bit. MVIS on the scans. That one's popping up. That one actually had a ramp into close yesterday. And its previous close was 421. Guess what? The magic number, the 20 area. Fast move up through the whole dollar. So be watching MVIS to have a little bit of a tough time against that previous close. That is natural resistance against 421. Jonathan, hoping everyone made money from that alert he had on BLNK, which was a beautiful alert, Jonathan. Nice work. Absolutely loved that. I did not have shorts for it. I hope somebody did and took advantage of that. But that was a sick trade there, and good alert. Great work there. Absolutely killing it, boys. You guys are doing nice job. Nice job. And understanding how the scans work. Taking advantage of those human emotions. So TLRY trying to find its feet and pop back up towards 950s. That one kind of bottomed out around 918. It's trying to get some volume to push back up towards 950. That's really where it needs to get above. If you guys do have a long position here, 950 is an area to probably scale out at least half or something, because that is going to be an area of resistance. BLNK, that one, just going to be looking like it's probably going to be heavy and maybe fade a little bit today. So if you guys got the short on BLNK, not a bad idea to just, fade a quarter of your positions or something. Money on the way type of deal. XNet is still having trouble against 320. XNet there. Still having a little trouble against 320. Still like that one up towards 340s, but volume's got to come in, obviously. MARA having a little bit of trouble up towards pre-market highs. Be aware of that. It's pulling back pretty hard now. A little bit of trouble against pre-market highs. SGBX popping up on the intensity scans right now. That one's trying to come up and retest its pre-market highs as well. SGBX having a little bit of trouble up there. AEMD, that one still. This is why I always have my support resistance lines drawn out, guys. Look at AMD right here. Literally bounced right off of this 270 line from the daily chart. So that's an area I would be watching if trading AMD. It's going to have a little bit of trouble turn back around for a little bit of time. That's how longs work. They usually take a little bit of time. But I'd ultimately be watching against that 270 support there. It's that area we do have drawn out as main support. SOS, no, nothing there. DTEA, not a lot going on there either. So TLRY, that one having trouble against 950s. That's why that was obviously a scale out area for us if you guys were trading that. BLNK, beautiful work there. That one's still fading. Still good to leave leftover positions there for the fade. AEMD, that one's still a play against 270s at the moment. XNet popping up towards its high of days right now, 323s. So I'd be watching that for a spike still up to 200 day. Remember, patience with a PAY on XNet. Let that one come to us. Don't force any trades on it. MARA having a tough time against pre-market highs there. Other than that, just waiting and watching. Just waiting and watching. Yeah, SGBX, a little bit of trouble against pre-market as well. That's how the scans work. SGBX popping up on the scans, and this is what happens. That's when it's getting euphoric, and guess what? We take the opposite side of the move, baby. Human behavior never changes. Never changes. Human behavior doesn't. When FOMO traders, when Robinhooders see something going up, guess what they're saying? Oh, I don't want to miss it. Let me buy it. And the 10%ers are taking advantage of those human emotions. XNet even higher right now, 326 up towards 330. Guys, help me alert some of these in chat. I need to look at something real quick. I'm having a little bit of trouble with the broker at the moment. So you guys take over for just a second. Watch XNet pretty carefully, though. Why is it? So confused. I don't know. I mean, my account's not. I can't trade. I don't know why. I have no clue. Anyways, I'll call them in a little bit. I'm gonna help you guys out in the meantime. So XNet, that one's 325 right now, 326, 327 bids. XNet, I think, is going to be a play. Let's wait and see if that one's going to pop up over the 200-day moving average. 334. 334. Let's see if that one's going to pop up. Blink still fading. TLRY, that one's still a play, but we need that one over 950. AIV. AIV is testing its previous close at 504. So there we go. AIV, that's what we were watching for. AIV to kind of pop up over its previous close here, which is 504. So if AIV starts, this is the stock that went from $40 down to $5 yesterday. Closed at 504. If this one wants to break through that previous close and hold it, I think we could have a trade here. AIV. Probably a little slower of a trade, but let's watch and make sure that's going to be holding that previous close. Had a little bit of trouble there. Previous close is always natural resistance, guys. You guys take a look at the open here. You see these upper shadows at the open. AIV is having some trouble against 504, which was the previous close. Now it's trying to get above it. So let's watch it. Let's watch that one up here against around that $5 area. One way, is that via CMEG, Kevin? Yeah, it is. I can't. My account's not even. My account's not popping up under the level 2s. I went to trade something this morning, and like all that's there is the paper account. So I don't. I gotta get them to. I don't know what happened. I have no clue what happened. Yeah, I'll call them. It'll get taken care of. But it's going to cost me some money today is the problem. XNet, 323. So that one, the 200-day moving average is 334. XNet's popping up to here towards 334. Yeah, I would have already traded TLRY and done pretty well there. So I got no clue. XNet, 334, 335. What I'd be watching for here is for this one to start getting a little fast. Yeah, it's tapping the 200-day right now on XNet, but let's see if this one can get a little fast, because right now it's just grinding against the 9 EMA. The hand's still good. It's still tapping that 334, but ultimately, you guys know what I like. Faster moves make the hands even sweeter. So you guys see it's just getting a little bit of a pullback against 334 right now. That is certainly that area that's going to be tough to break through. SGBX, that's how that works off the scan, guys. 437, all the way back down to 390s. The same with Jonathan's alert this morning, BLNK 3070s. That one's still, that one's still working right there. 2930s at the moment. Yeah, that's never happened to me before with DOS. I have no clue. Absolutely no clue. Coin, I broke my rule and moved my stop down on MARA, so lots of buyers. Coin breaking rules. AEMD is pulling back towards the 270s. It's still holding up. Here's the bottom trend here. 270. Still trying to hold that area up. Here's that bottom support, 270s. So be watching AEMD. If trading this, ultimately 270 is going to be the main risk there. The main risk still. So that one's actually looking a little heavy, coming down towards that area right now. It may flush under it pretty quick. So watch it pretty carefully. Pretty carefully right there. TLRY really looks like it wants to test that 950s. Again, here's TLRY. Tried to test it again. 950s, was unable to do it. It's not giving up, and we see a lower shadow down here towards 920. So TLRY really wants to test the 950s out. AMD, there's some big buyers popping up on AMD. It's all smoke and mirrors, though. You got any level 3 for us on AMD coin? The level 3. The level 2 is all smoke and mirrors. It's all a game. It's just a game. The big boys, they put their orders up as 0. MARA coming back up towards 820s. No coins working that right now. Good work there. Coin out 3/4 at 820. Going to kick back on the rest. Don't sound bad to me. DS is popping up on the intensity scans, guys. If you guys have CMEG, I think we have shorts there. Yeah, we do have shorts with DS. Let me see what we're seeing. Fast move up towards 320 is always a beautiful thing. So that's what I'll be watching for. DS, see if we get a pop up towards 320 and beyond. $320 and beyond. Oh my God. Yeah, a lot of resistance. AMD up towards $5. As long as it's still holding 270, that's kind of where the support is on the daily. We are seeing the lower shadows towards that area. It looks a little heavy against the 9 EMA right now. Looks pretty heavy against the 9. So yeah, that one's gonna have some trouble. DS, that one sold off right away. So DS, that one popped up on the intensity scans, and it got hit pretty hard. 313 all the way back down towards low threes. 320 would have been ideal there. May still get it. So DS, I think, is one to be watching. We want to write that one down and make sure you guys are watching DS to see if we get a fast pop on that. XNet is up towards 340s right now. So here's what I noticed with XNet. I was thinking this is probably going to break the 200-day moving average at first, because when you look at, and it's still kind of grinding at the moment, XNet. It hadn't got that really fast move on it. But when you look at the daily here, and you see how it's really tapping this 200-day right now. Well, look at the last time it tapped the 200-day. It actually broke above it like 30 cents before it gave everything back. So normally what XNet does is it will break and then kind of fade. It will kind of fade later and give it all back. It retraces that move. So I am anticipating with XNet, if you are trading that, just anticipate it getting up a little bit higher on it. If you are trading it, just to make sure you are scaling accordingly, appropriately there. AEMD breaking that 270 area. So that one's looking pretty heavy. I'd be careful there. Still with AEMD, looking pretty heavy. That 270 was best support, but it's already cracked that. It's approaching 10 o'clock, guys. And so here's what I'd be watching if you guys are sticking around. MARA, coin is working that one. That one's up towards 830s area. So that one's getting a little continuation. I'd make sure we're watching that one for tomorrow as well. TLRY gave us a nice little setup today, man. I would have hit that one towards the low 9s as well. Would have been a good play today. XNet's getting a little continuation. I do want to watch that one. I think there's still a good trade there. DS, higher the better there. Watch that against 320s and maybe even higher. We'll see where DS gets to. XNet ultimately, I think, will fade later in the day. So I may try to come back and get a trade on that. I just need to call I need to call the broker and make sure, get my account back up on here. I don't know what happened there, but so that's one I'm going to be watching later in the day. Coin saying VERU. So the VERU, that's that sector, the breast cancer news that's really been rocking and rolling here lately with some of these plays like GLSI, I believe, and a few others. So VERU. I'm going to write down some of these I think you guys should be missing or should be watching throughout the day if you do not have the scans. If you do, if you want the scans there, of course in the description below, you guys can always get those. I'm gonna write some of these out. Man, XNet, I really don't want it to pull back yet because I want to get involved there. Yeah, so I'd be watching those plays right there. XNet, let me pull that one up. What are we doing here, XNet? Man, come on. Anybody get XNet? So 344 was the 200-day. And, man, big sell-off. 340s down towards 320s, 328, 329. 15 cents-ish right there. But I definitely would have been hitting that at the 200-day at least. Let's see if that one wants to get any continuation. Oh, and TLR. I wrote down TLRY. TLRY is testing 950 again right now. So be watching that as well. But it's approaching 10 o'clock, guys. I'm going to make a few phone calls. If you have any questions at all, hit me up via email. Coin and I, FYI, I am coming out with a video today with Coin and I, going over how trading can, how it changes your life. Changes your life drastically. So make sure when that video comes out, you guys give it a little thumbs up. Make sure we are hitting that YouTube algorithm. Make sure you comment something on there. You know the drill. BLNK popping up towards its morning spike. So that's kind of giving some sloppy seconds at the moment. Might not be bad risking off of 30.75. BLNK popping back up towards that area. God. man, there was a few that a little bit of an expensive day for things not to be working on my end, because DS was a nice play, XNet nice play, TLRY nice play. All right, guys, I'm going to head on out of here. Let me know if you have any questions at all, and we're going to do it again tomorrow morning. Be watching for that video. It's going to come out a little bit after lunchtime. Love you guys. We will do it again tomorrow.